I don't have many requirements when it comes to finding a partner, but there are a few things that are non-negotiable. First, I hope to find someone with a stable job in the public sector because that provides security in life. Second, as for housing, I think
Oh my God. Wait, is this what Ryan was talking about? The ancient Chinese secret that could change how you understand your life and your energy. Click the link in the top comment. Find out now.
it can't be less than 120 square meters. Anything smaller feels too cramped to live in. I know these requirements might seem a bit high nowadays, but I'm thinking about the future of my family. I'm not that young anymore, so I have to think long term. After all, marriage is a major life event, and I want it to be stable and comfortable.
I'm 38 years old this year with a master's degree, and I'm considered a high-quality older single woman. I used to think that in a place like Hangzhou, I could find an equally outstanding older single man. But it wasn't until I turned 38 this year that I realized that those older single men I consider excellent don't even spare me a glance. Now, the only ones pursuing me are single men from rural areas. In other words, if I want to get married, my only option is to move to the countryside. For women our age, it's just like men without money, we don't bring anything to a marriage. So now I think that living in the countryside might actually be pretty good. Maybe that's the best place for me to end up.
Lately, I guess I've stirred up a hornet's nest among older single women. These fairies have been flooding my DMs with insults. Some say, you must apologize or I'll report you every day. Others say, don't you have a daughter? I hope your daughter can't get married either. Well, thank you, but I really don't have one. Besides those who curse at me, there are also people trying to lecture me. Let me read you one of the most representative messages. The bride price is just a form of security for the woman. 200,000 yuan isn't even enough to buy a decent car, yet it can bring home a living, breathing person to do your laundry, cook your meals, and bear your children. So, can someone who tries to haggle over the bride price with the woman really be marriage material? A good woman from a good family will have many suitors. A blessed woman will never enter a home without a husband. Isn't what you're saying a bit contradictory? Earlier, you said that if the price isn't right, then we just won't make a deal. Does that mean you want a high price? Are all women now good women? So a groom's family not engaging in transactional marriages is now an unlucky family. I think in the end you should write it like this. A high-priced woman will not enter a bargaining family. And you still want guarantees? What era do you think we're in? Are you living in the old society? Back then, women were oppressed, had no status, and even in death had to die in their husband's home. Women's liberation has been around for years. These days, if you want to get married, you get married. If you want to divorce, you divorce. You can even just leave if you want. In an era where women cheating is commonplace, what kind of guarantee are you looking for? Now, from the marriage law to the law on the protection of women and children, and the law on the protection of women's rights and interests, the protection we provide for women is the highest it has ever been in history. What more protection do you need? Oh, you mean financial security, right? Then what's the point of getting married? Marriage is not some large-scale poverty alleviation project for men to support women's families, nor is it a long-term meal ticket for women. Marriage is a union, and its purpose is to create something together. You're not a person with disabilities, so why do you need someone else to provide for you? People say a man's hands build his world. So are your hands just for a bride price? What is feminism? Women can hold up half the sky and with men create a harmonious family and a better life. That is true feminism independence and self-empowerment. Also, please use your brain when you speak. 200,000 yuan can't even buy a decent car, yet you think it can buy a living, breathing person like you. You compare yourselves to cars, houses, and money, but never to a real person. But don't forget, whether it's a good car or a junk car, the owner can change it whenever they want, smash it if they feel like it, sell it, or scrap it. Cars will never betray their owners or run away. Can you say the same about yourselves? Is there even a contract? Besides, even a 50,000 yuan car is still brand new. And some people ask for hundreds of thousands in bride price except for themselves not being new. They want everything else to be brand new. So comparing people to cars is just degrading yourself. Anyone who compares themselves to a car is definitely not as good as a car. Besides, laundry, cooking, and having children that you eat the food you cook? Don't you wear the clothes you wash? How many clothes does a man have? And who are you having children? The man is not raising another's child. If people say a man earning money is what he's supposed to do, that's perfectly natural. Then isn't it natural for you to do laundry, cook, and have children? Besides, in most families, housework and raising children are shared responsibilities, so no one owes you anything. As for saying you can't marry if you negotiate over the bride price in business, if you can name your price, Others can bargain too. That's normal. If the deal doesn't go through, you can still part on good terms, right? Whether people praise or criticize, it's just bystanders making noise when the buyer cheers. Who doesn't try to bargain when buying something? If you can name your price, others will also consider whether it's worth it or not. Only those who are genuinely interested in buying will negotiate. So, some women aren't really looking for the right price. They're just looking for the right price. In the name of getting married, they talk about money, but in the end, it's not about marrying the right person, it's about marrying at the right price.
I don't understand why an independent and strong woman who relies on her own connections and not on men has to face such social exclusion. Older single women really aren't a problem. Many, or even more, are women who graduate at 25 or 26, get a stable job, and then slowly look for a partner. If you're not careful, you'll end up single. It's not that we want this, it's just that the pressure from society is too great. Now, we support ourselves sometimes without even realizing it. We're able to support ourselves, save up a down payment for a house in every city, and before you know it, time has just slipped by. It really happens so fast. Don't judge others, your daughter might end up just like me one day. And when that time comes, she'll be criticized for being unwanted. Will you really feel better eating leftovers and living with power outages? We, the leftover women of the post-80s generation, are actually victims of our times. Do you think we want to be like this? There's nothing we can do this, it's just how society is now. A lot of people criticize you, and some even think you're a weirdo. I think I'm perfectly normal, so why do you all see me as a weirdo? Is it really so strange for a hardworking, ambitious woman to have a stable job in a big city, to earn a steady income, to buy her own home through her own efforts without relying on the man? Why does an independent and strong woman like this have to be ostracized by society? To be subjected to such harsh words from society, I just don't get it, I really don't understand. Do you understand it? If I just wanted to rely on the man, I could get married, find someone with good financial means, and not have to work hard myself. But for a strong and independent woman like me to be insulted like this in today's Chinese society, I truly can't understand it.
Are older single women in Beijing going crazy? This morning, a 1984-born woman came for a blind date. She's 40, has a bachelor's, works at a public institution, and her parents have government jobs with great benefits. Her conditions are excellent. She looks good and is in shape. She just wants an equal partner. I asked her requirements. He must be a local Beijinger, living space no less than 160 square meters. Ideally, a villa. Cars must be Mercedes or BMW, and his annual salary no less than 800,000 yuan. I told her these aren't about equality. With these requirements, men like that are fiercely fought over in Beijing's dating scene. She just said, I'm not asking for anything else. She wanted a capable man with high income. I suggested options, but she refused to divorce men with children, wanting an unmarried partner since she'd never married. A 1976-born man was too old. A 165 centimeters tall guy lacked connection. She asked if I had more outstanding men. Annoyed, I asked her definition of outstanding. She said, in Beijing, over 800,000 yuan annual salary, owning a house and car with no loans, ideally running his own company. He wants someone at least 1.75 meters tall, emotionally intelligent, sensible, and good-looking. I told her guys like that exist, but they wouldn't be interested in you. Men like that are pursued by women from wealthy families or stunning post-2000s internet celebrities. There's a line waiting to marry them. Bluntly, you're an ordinary civil servant. Your family lacks property or fancy cars, and now you want to marry up? I told her. Even the matchmaking god couldn't find you someone like that. She thought I was manipulating her, cursed me, and left, saying everything I say in my videos is a lie. I have nothing more to say. So if any men meet her standards, comment or reach out in my links below. Would any of you consider marrying a woman like this?
I was really blindly confident. I never thought that with my looks I would have trouble getting married. I'm already 35 years old. I'm especially good at cooking, and I'm also very good at managing the household frugally. So when I buy things, I always compare prices at different stores. And I don't really have any problems communicating with people. It's just that I'm a bit assertive and my temper isn't the best. But I don't think any of these are enough to be obstacles to me getting married. But I'm 35 now, and it's the end of the year, so I'll be turning 36 soon next year. Just thinking about this makes me feel exhausted. So tired.
Right now, I'm at Xinhua Park. Take a look. It's the end of the year, and every family is making efforts for their own continuation. Here, I came across a particularly unique marriage profile. Don't scroll away, let's take a look at what women of an older age are experiencing these days. A sense of helplessness and anxiety. So, this woman, she was born in 1983, never married, 41 years old, 1.63 meters tall, weighs 128 kg, a local who works at a public institution, has a bachelor's degree, and enjoys sports and traditional Chinese health practices. As for her personality, this is how she describes herself. She describes herself as lively, generous, enthusiastic, cheerful, and more on the extroverted side. What are her requirements for a partner? Someone whose age is within 3 years of her own, and who is either never married or has no children. He should be at least 1.70 meters tall, have an associate degree or higher, a stable job and income. She also requires that his family of origin, his parents are not divorced. He has no criminal record and owns a house. As for personality, she wants someone steady, kind, responsible, honest, and down to earth. He should be physically and mentally healthy and share the same values as her. When you look at this kind of profile at first glance, it seems pretty ordinary. But what really caught my attention was a little essay he wrote below. Hello everyone. Please listen to what I have to say. I still feel quite upset about this. He said, as long as you are outstanding enough, there will always be a way forward. I wish to find someone whose heart is true and stay together until old age without parting. My principle is, if you're not sure, don't get married lightly. If you are sure, don't divorce easily. Although I'm just over 40, I still insist on not wanting to find someone just to have a child, because I can't forget how, as a child, I cried my eyes out watching Only Mother is Good in the World. That's also why, since I haven't met the right person, I've never gotten married. I'm afraid that making a choice I'm not sure about would lead to some irreparable regrets. Being single and maintaining my integrity has actually become, helplessly, the best option for me. I believe that maintaining my integrity isn't a bad thing, but rather a way of being responsible for myself. So I happily enjoy the wonderful, noble life of being single, coming and going as I please, completely free. Fortunately, I have a real passion for life. And even on my own, I can live a fulfilling life. When a person isn't lacking in spirit or material things, you don't really feel the passage of time. And so, I've let myself reach this age, 41 years old. So what about now? At this age, facing the major hurdle of having children, I personally do want kids, and I definitely want to have my own biological child. So, faced with this reality, in other words, if I were a man and had a longer window for fertility, who knows how much longer I might have put it off. But even with time being so tight, I still have certain standards for my partner. This is a way of being responsible to each other. If a wrong choice leads to undesirable consequences, that's not something either of us would want to see. I am someone who loves traditional culture and has a deep background in studying Chinese medicine. I really hope that my partner is also interested in this area. When two people share the same values and are on the same wavelengths, it eliminates a lot of ineffective communication and increases harmony between them. Over the years, I have continued to grow and mature, and my standards for choosing a partner have changed dramatically compared to before. Now, I believe that getting married is about finding a family member for yourself. Just like the word matchmaking suggests, it's about finding someone who feels like family to accompany you through the rest of your life. This is my understanding of marriage now, rather than the vague fantasies of romance I had when I was younger. The most important thing is that we have to see if there's fate between us. There's a very interesting parenthesis afterwards saying, if your physiological desires or animal instincts are excessive, please don't add me. In other words, that aspect is optional for me. I'm asexual. Actually, from this, you can see that this girl, she knows herself. She has overly high expectations for her partner, which has led her to keep postponing things again and again. However, she has never considered what kind of value she actually has in the marriage and dating market, especially since she is already 41 years old. Everything she says is still about what she expects from the other person. She never talks about what she, as a wife or as a mother, can contribute to the family. She says she must find someone whose values align with hers, someone who is responsible for themselves. But being responsible for yourself doesn't mean expecting others to be responsible for you. It means we need to be responsible for the family. When men see these kinds of requirements, they really just run away. Right? Because your requirements are just two men you've written over 1,000 words in great detail. Actually, you could keep it very simple. I'm 41 years old, and I just want to find a man to grow old with, hand in hand. As for his marital history or other aspects, I don't have any requirements, including his age or his job, because I just want to find a companion, a family member, to be with each other. Would I have demands or conditions for my parents or my family? Of course not. So why, when I'm looking for a partner, do I write out thousands of words of requirements? That actually shows you're still placing all your hopes for a beautiful future on your other half. At 41, you really shouldn't do that anymore. Put your hopes in yourself instead.